Yeah! Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel. A special boop on the nose for the new peeps who have joined the family as well. My name is Brandy, and I'm a graphic designer and a health coach, and I'm ready today. I'm going all in, and I'm bringing y'all all along with me. Okay, I'm really tired of the scarcity mindset narratives, particularly the ways that I've allowed myself to endure all kinds of loss and settling for less than the bare minimum in several areas of my life. Can you relate to this? You know that friend you have who constantly drains you and you don't even really consider this person a friend, but more so like a vampire who is constantly sucking the life out of you? But because it's hard for you to meet people and to trust them, you settle for less than ideal and possibly even toxic friendships? Or that one dairy-free yogurt that finally goes on sale, but you don't want to buy it because even on sale, it's still a little bit more expensive than the cheaper one that tastes like fermented super glue? Y'all, I'm just saying, this scarcity mindset concept can apply to all issues, big and small. But if it goes unaddressed, it can have severely unhealthy effects on our whole lives. Not even kidding. Not giving myself the same level of care or respect that I would give to others can apply to positive and negative things. So, for example, in the same way that I'm harder on myself than I am on others, I can also deny myself of the positive things I think everyone else deserves. There are even times when I actually give to and care more for others than I care for myself. Like, what the heck is that about? This is not just from a place of scarcity or feeling like resources aren't enough. That's definitely a major ingredient of this crap cake. But the other ingredients include critical words and demeaning things declared over me by others about who I am. Stuff like, you're too emotional, you're selfish, you're weird, you're nothing special, you're manipulative. Love that one, because I usually hear that when someone else is trying to manipulate me. And the good old classic, what's wrong with you? And blah blah blah, on and on. So of course I have moments when I'm acting crazy and need to seriously chill out, but these statements do not define me as an individual. Not only are these things not true of me, but I have worked on making sure that I'm actually not being these things. As I've mentioned in previous videos, many things, even from childhood, that were spoken over me, I've had to work on seeing as lies as an adult. When I get caught up on laser focusing on improving and not being a certain way, I can easily ignore the progress that I've made in my life. I often assume that I'll always have to work harder and harder and harder at making sure the lies don't somehow turn into reality, and I try to be the exact opposite of what the lie said. Now, this doesn't even make sense, and it's exhausting, and it's not fair for someone to define me by the worst possible moments I've had in my life. So here's an example. I've been referred to before as the angry black girl. Of course, this was years ago by a person who wasn't black. The glory and joys of living in the suburbs, y'all. So instead of saying this person is ignorant and even buying into a stupid stereotype and then trying to apply it to me, I took it upon myself to work on being the nice black girl. But this made me, ironically, angry. But my anger came from being stereotyped, misunderstood, and judged, and had nothing to do with my ethnicity. My emotional reaction was a normal response to prejudice and someone operating out of their own unhealthiness and their unhealed trauma. But some damage had already been done to myself. Now I felt like I had to make my anger so small it was almost non-existent. Contain it to the point of ignoring it. Don't come off too strong no matter how badly someone hurts you. And this is not realistic or healthy at all. Now, we can't be out here punching people in the face. That's been well established. But in that example, I could have easily told that person that their comment made me angry. Like, yo, help me understand how you came to that conclusion when you don't even know me. You've literally had one experience of me on a terrible day. That, as an example, is anger expressed and communicated to the person who committed the offense. That is much easier than internalizing toxicity that is not yours to own, and then letting that toxicity that isn't even yours shrink the world you're living in to an unbearably small cage. Not okay. And of course, personal growth work is hard. We all have things we need to work on for our mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical health. That, my friends, is what we call full body wellness on this here channel. But although I work hard on myself, the process of entering into difficult spaces shouldn't be getting harder and harder with consistency and dedication. That would mean I'm probably doing something very wrong. Now, the topic or issue itself that I'm dealing with may have fluctuating levels of difficulty, but my process of dealing with the issues that arise should be getting easier over time. So think of it like this. Imagine your first day at your job versus how you feel 3 months in, and then 6 months in, and then 12 months in, and then think about 24 months in. Do millennials even have jobs past 24 months in? When I find my rhythm at work and I'm functioning within the scope of my gifts and talents, then the process of how I engage in and prioritize my work is not harder. Over time, I learn how to grow and enter a flow of work that's not only creative, but also fulfilling. Now, my job does have challenging seasons, of course, as I'm sure you guys do too, and new challenges arise that test my strength. But with good foundational processes of how I handle those difficulties, I can figure it out and persevere and get even better at my job. This same concept applies to all areas of full body wellness. Whether you're learning new things at the gym, seeing a new therapist, trying meal prepping, maybe for the jillionth time, or learning how to take up space for yourself and be who you were created to be. You can get into a rhythm and start functioning from the core of who you are, even when it's hard. Just like the first day at the job, it won't be easy, but you can find a process that allows you to thrive and grow. And get that promotion, sis! I've taken several steps in not playing it small and taking up space, not settling for the bare minimum. This means learning how to care for myself and to give myself the same level of love and respect that I'd give to a dear friend or family member. Speaking of which, I was just talking about this with my friend literally this week, and she's remodeling some things in her house, and I'm redecorating some things in mine, and we are just like, wow, we don't want to spend the money or use up the resources on ourselves. And why is this? Why do women in particular so often fall into this trap? And my friend and I are very serious about spending wisely and saving and having a plan and not buying things now that you don't have money for now and that kind of stuff. So we're not out here wiling out. We're actually financially conservative and wise and dedicated and hardworking women. You know what I'm saying? This is also why we're very close friends. But we also give ourselves the short end of the stick while giving much of ourselves away to others. And being afraid to spend some resources on my living environment or my overall wellness just doesn't make sense at all. Especially when, as y'all know, health and fitness is such an important value to me. Now, stick with me here, okay? So back in the day, I had a mattress I really liked. It was the kind that was firm, yet soft, and just overall really nice. Now I'm dealing with a horrible mattress that pops and clunks and literally punches every part of my body while I sleep. Why do I continue to sleep on this mattress? Well, because it's the one I have right now, and getting a new one will cost money. Well, guess what? It's not good for me to sleep on 2 layers of uneven bricks, wake up at 4:45 in the morning, and then go to the gym to lift 10 to 20,000 pounds during my training session. When I walk into the gym, tired and sore because I've wrestled the mattress every hour on the hour, Not only am I already annoyed, but I'm already exhausted and more prone to injury. But I can end the misery. And so I did. Behold! Assist got herself a much better mattress after several days of research and sleuthing. I'm not sponsored by this company, so I ain't dropping no names. But seriously though, I want to wait for the mattress to actually get to full size and for me to sleep on it and all that before I give it a proper review. But probably any mattress at this point would have been better than the one I had. We interrupt this program to bring you a special announcement. Actually, this is just me struggling with the mattress. Okay, back to the program. But this is it. I set it up today. Now, not every investment has to be as big as a mattress, but your big needs, the things that are really going to shift your life for the better, those are the ones you need to be revved up for. If your shirt has a hole in it, but you literally have nowhere to live, then get yourself a safe place to live first, make that investment, and then go to Walmart and get you a t-shirt later. And as an example of a smaller investment in myself that's having huge impacts is this. I've been spending a lot of time working through really hard concepts that I originally found it very hard to talk about. Concepts like this one. And I'm talking about these things with others and with my counselor. Spiritually speaking, I invested time and energy into a great devotional book I just finished called You're Going to Make It by Lisa TerKeurst. This book has helped me process some of those huge emotions and release things to God each day that I can't control, while also taking ownership of my own power and what I can control for my own well-being. At the same time, while one of my life groups just took a break, I'll be doing yet another deep dive study with a different group weekly. This work doesn't just stop, y'all. Just like the healthy eating and exercising doesn't stop, we take breaks and rest days and vacations, of course, but the normal way of life is working through this crap. It's digging through the hard, resistant soil, ripping out them weeds and all the dead stuff, and making the ground soft and fertile again to plant new flowers. It's work that provides a beautiful payoff. And all this means is that I have officially stopped playing it small and I've taken it to a new level. I won't accept the bare minimum anymore, being skipped over, being mistreated, having my name spelled incorrectly. Okay, stop doing it. You know who you are. I don't care if it's Siri's fault either. Spell my name right, please. Okay? Brandie. I'm investing time, lots of my energy and money into taking up space and fully living out this full body wellness I've been talking about here on this channel. And it's taken some time, but if this is something you want to do for yourself, remember that it takes time to build up and start seeing breakthrough in your life. It's a constant cycle of putting your head down and doing the work, but coming up for air from time to time to look back on how far you've come. It's about honoring your journey while setting new goals and making wise decisions along the way as you learn to trust yourself. Okay, look, if you're so cheap to the point that you're miserable, don't go out and start spending like a maniac. That's not what this is about. Quite the opposite. Do some research on what you really truly need, those big priorities, like I did with the mattress. Maybe your car won't last too many more years, so now is the time to save for that. Put your head down and work so you can get a better, affordable car before your current one poops out. And listen, okay, I'm the person who leaves things in my online shopping cart for weeks. So then I was only leaving things in my cart for 8 days. And then after 8 days, I found that the things I had in there, I actually still needed. Then I got to a point where I'd wait 5 days. And then after 5 days, I decided what I could wait on and what I actually needed. And most of the time, everything I had in my cart, I actually did need. But y'all, think about this. Originally, I was putting things I actually needed, I was putting things off for weeks. all in an attempt just to get by, just because it's just me and I can be the one to do without. But instead of going on the other extreme and being spontaneously wasteful, I decided to wait 8 days instead of weeks, and then 5 days instead of 8. And for me, this is a much healthier way to make sure I'm balancing my needs with my wants and still making wise decisions. For those of us who can easily fall into restrictive scarcity mindsets, it can be easy to flip and do the extreme opposite and go buck wild. Then we can feel regret and go right back into the scarcity mindset, like, I knew I shouldn't have done that. It's that age-old buyer's remorse or guilt or whatever it's called. But this can be totally avoided when you take the time to really do your research and make the best possible decision you know how to make. Only you can do this, and you have to trust yourself to do it. And don't use research as an excuse to put yourself off and keep playing it small. When you have your vegan protein powder in your shopping cart for 3 weeks, but you only have 3 days worth of it left, it's okay to just buy it. Or when you feel like you're awkward and you don't think people will understand you or your humor or your love of stuffed animals, don't shrink back in fear over who you are. Put those babies on the big screen, and if someone thinks that it's weird, then they can go find a different kind of weird that works for them. Or, more seriously, if you've made a huge mistake in a relationship and you shrink back in shame and fear because what you did has been brought to light and now everyone knows, then learn from that mistake and stop making that mistake, and show that you can be a trustworthy person and a loving friend or partner. Don't shrink back and hide because of fear and shame. And this is not the same as shyness. Even naturally shy people can still take up space and care for themselves. Being shy or being an introvert is not the same as shame, self-restriction, and hiding, so don't get it twisted. And make no mistake, a sis had to make this video for herself too. I'm learning this as I'm talking about it, and many of my self-care videos I have to look back on when I'm not feeling the greatest or when I'm really struggling with sadness and anxiety. These videos, in combination with all my other full body wellness practices I mentioned in this video and past videos, are really God's gift to me during this struggle bus season. God is definitely seeing me through it, and I'm still here. I'm still tracking my calories, I'm still training hard and hitting goals, still working on prioritizing my mental and emotional health, and work on taking up space that I know is safe and healthy and good for me during this time. So y'all, I'm just saying, a sis is struggling, but she's doing alright and she is blessed. We can be both at the same time, and sometimes we have to be until we reach that next level of full body wellness. Hey. So I'm really excited to hear what y'all have to say about this one. Taking up space is not an easy thing to do for people who are used to restricting, holding out, or living in scarcity. But I know that this is a very real thing, especially with the ladies, because we be having side conversations on Insta, y'all. And so be sure to head over to Instagram and TikTok and follow me over there. Leave a comment down below in this video, and I can't wait to see y'all in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.